Hello everybody, and thank you for joining me. This is Ciara from Ciara T Designs, and today I have these really pretty birthday cards to share with you, so let's jump right in. So as always, I like to start by cutting down my cardstock just because I like to see what I'm working with, and I will be using an A2 sized base, which is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 when scored. So I'm going to cut down my white panel to be about 1/4 of an inch smaller than my A2 base, and then my black mat will be about 1/8 of an inch smaller than my A2 base. I say about because I kind of eyeball a lot of my measurements. So because of that, this is kind of the closest-ish I can give you. And I am going to make 5 cards as you saw in the opening of this video. So we're going to jump right into it. So I'm going to show you how I kind of like to die cut everything first. I like to kind of create my card sets assembly line style. So I'm going to cut down all of the cardstock first. Then I'm going to emboss all the panels. Then I'm going to die cut everything. Then I'm going to ink blend everything. Like I kind of do it in segments, if that makes sense. And I'm going to show you here just the thin layer that I get for that, and I love that little bit of a border. I think it really makes everything pop and looks really pretty. But of course you don't need to add the black mat if that's not your style. I just really like it, so I tend to go that direction. So for the embossing folder, I used the Tim Holtz 3D Texture Fade Botanical. I don't know if it's still available. I've had it a long time. It's one of my favorites. If it's still available, I'll have it linked and listed down below for you. On the off chance that it isn't, I'll see if I can find something fairly similar. And then I misted my 5 panels with a little bit of Antique linen spritz. I just thought it added just a little bit of something interesting to the background. You don't need to do this if you don't own the spritz, or of course you could use one of the mica sprays if you have one of those. I just wanted kind of a subtle color, which is why I went with Antique linen, because it's just a fun color that's not in your face. It's not going to take away from the really beautiful butterflies I plan to add to the panel. So I like the mixed media-esque aesthetic. If you don't enjoy that, by all means, skip adding that bit of spritz there. And then we're going to bring in I don't know why I say we, I mean me. I'm going to bring in the Detailed Butterflies Mini. This is another die I've had a long time. Again, if it's available still, I will have it linked and listed down below. If not, I'll try to find something similar. This is a Tim Holtz die. I love to use my stuff. You guys know, if you've been with my channel for a little while, I like to go back to old products and reuse them in different ways consistently. So I do have a tendency to reuse all of my stuff. But any butterfly would look beautiful here, especially if you have one that's 2 layers, because that's kind of the idea. So I'm going to cut my 2 butterflies out 15 times because I want 3 butterflies per card. So obviously I'm going to end up with 8 of one butterfly and 7 of the other. And then I'm also going to cut the detail layer out of the same black that I'm using for the mat that's going to go underneath it. So here you can see that's that same cardstock. And I just have my Switch Plus off to the side. That's the die cutting machine I prefer. It is a automatic one. I still have my manual. I still have my Big Shot. I use it for other tools, like when I want to foil and that kind of thing. But otherwise, my Big Shot is pretty much my Switch is pretty much my go-to machine. I love it. And I do have a scrapbook magic mat on my plate here as well, just because I find I don't have to use as many plates this way. So it's kind of one of my preferred tools in the crafty space if you're going that direction. I love it. It's just such a useful tool. But again, use your plates. Use what you have. That is one of my biggest beliefs in the crafting thing, that you buy these fun things and then you use them once or twice and then you kind of set them aside and use new stuff. But I like to use old stuff. I don't know, especially butterflies. I love butterflies so much. So but yeah, I'm just going to use my pick tool here to pick out all of the cool details in these butterfly wings. And again, you could have done these in anything. You could do pink glitter, you could do white glitter, you could do black glitter, you could do vellum, there's so many ways you could do these cards. I opted to go with black just because I thought that it would look really nice with this more subtle background, and because it ties in the black mat and the black sentiment when we get into that. But there's no right or wrong here. It's just really a preference as to what you like to work with more and what color palette you're going for, because the black is quite bold. And then, of course, my kittens had to come and help me. This one happens to be as he's just walking across everything, checking it out. He's very, very helpful. And if you guys have been with me for a while, you know that the rainbow palette is one of my favorites. And this happens to be my favorite distress color palette for the rainbow. So I have picked raspberry, carved pumpkin, squeezed lemonade, twisted citron, Mermaid Lagoon, I'm pretty sure, is my blue. I switch between Peacock Feathers and Mermaid Lagoon depending on how I'm feeling, and Wilted Violet. And this one is Mermaid Lagoon. So I'm just going to use those to kind of blend on my butterflies. I want to have 2 colors per butterfly, and then I brought in just a touch of a third color on them. So the first ones will be pink and orange with a touch of yellow, and then of course the next ones will be yellow and green with a touch of blue, and then the final ones will be blue and purple with a touch of pink. I just think that that's a really pretty color palette, but you could easily do these in multiple shades of one color too if you wanted to go monochromatic. You know, you could do shades of pink or shades of purple or shades of blue, and they would look stunning still. So completely up to you as to what color palette you prefer, but I love rainbows and they make me think of spring. And currently it is snowing outside. So you can see where I'm going to use the colors that make me smile because I'm getting a little tired of winter. I'm ready for spring to happen. So I'm always going to choose a more vibrant and fun color palette because of that. So that is why I generally go that direction. And while I was making these cards, I had an idea for my Etsy shop. If you guys don't know, I run an Etsy shop. Right now, it currently sells mostly journaling stickers. I just had a release this weekend. I'm so excited about it. You would have seen some of those stickers in the shorts on my channel if you watch my shorts. And I'm so excited about those. You'll also see those next week when I do my April bullet journal layouts. But I had an idea to do a sticker sheet that's all sentiments. I don't know if you guys you've seen me do sentiment labels multiple times because they are one of my favorite things to just tuck in with a focal image and just kind of, easily hide them. And normally, I would either use white cardstock or black cardstock, and then I'd white heat emboss or I'd black stamp, whichever. And when I was making these, I had just wished that I had some little sticker sentiment labels that I could have just tucked in super easily. And I don't have any, right? And there are companies who make labels. There are many, many companies who do like labels. Like Simon Says Stamp does them. I'm pretty sure PinkFresh does them. Like there's a bunch of companies that make them, but they're generally not stickers. Although there are some companies that do make stickers. I don't have any. So when I was doing this, I was like, man, I really wish I had some sticker label sentiments. Cause I just think that those would be so fun on this design. And you'll see here when we get into actually building the cards what I mean. But while I had this epiphany, I'm like, man, I'm going to create those. So after the digital papers, because I want digital papers to be the next up on my shop because I've been working really hard on some really cool digital papers. At least I think they're pretty cool. I am a little biased. But after the digital papers go up, I intend to have label stickers go up next. So watch out for those if that's at all of interest to you. And I'm hoping to do 2 sets. I'd like to do one set that's more like the traditional sentiments, happy birthday, thank you, thinking of you, the very traditional ones. And then I would like to have one that's more like inspirational, like you've got this, you're doing great, more inspirational type quotes, that kind of thing, because I think that they would be both fitting for cards and journal pages, because I do want to get more into art journaling. So I think they'd be really fun for both of those options. So that is something I'm really excited about. I just came up with that yesterday while I was making these cards. So I can't wait to share that with you guys. Probably not until April. I do really want to get the digital papers up first. So watch out for those if that's something you've been interested in. And yeah, I am really excited. So if you have any ideas, let me know. Leave your comments down in the description. Tell me your thoughts, or down under the description. Tell me your thoughts. Do you think sentiment sticker sheets would be something you guys would find interesting? Not that you have to purchase them, just do you think that they'd be interesting? I know that I think I'd love to use them. So regardless of if anybody else wanted them, I think they'd be lots of fun just for me in general. So that is what I am thinking, but leave your thoughts. I always want to hear what you guys are thinking about this kind of stuff. I want to, create things that are useful to everybody. So please let me know. But yeah, see there, you just saw I glued the detail layer on top of the butterflies after I finished blending my colors. And I only like to glue them in the middle so that I can have the wings propped up and have them kind of look really pretty. And you can see off to the right hand side there, that's the idea I have for the layout. And then this is where I was stamping out the sentiment many times. And I'm like, man, I wish I had a sentiment label strip sticker so that I could just stick them on and not need to trim these out and get them straight and, you know, whatever, because I would just use a program to make sure that they were straight. But regardless, I mean, you can do this too. There's no right or wrong here. As you can see, this is kind of what I chose to do. I wanted a thin happy birthday label. And this is a Simon Says stamp set that I've had, again, a long time. I don't know if it's available, but any thin sentiment is going to give you the same idea, like a smaller sentiment that's all in one line. It's going to give you the same feel. So that's kind of what I aimed for here. And I just thought that they turned out really cool. And then I'm going to tuck it just behind the middle butterfly. I kind of moved it around several times. I wasn't sure if I wanted it on the bottom or, you know, floating by itself. But in the end, I decided to add the sentiment just under the middle butterfly's bottom wing. I just felt like that was the best fit. And then, of course, because this is me, I am going to add pearls to the card panels. I love pearls so much. If you've been with me for a minute, you'll know that the pearls are my favorite embellishment. You don't need to add them. If you don't have any, don't add them. Not a problem. But if you have a favorite element that you like to add as an embellishment, add it here. I just tucked it throughout the design around the butterflies, and then I kind of left the right side of the design open with just the embossed panel. And I thought that turned out really neat. And I did adhere all of this flat. I just used my Nuvo Deluxe glue, which is by far my preferred glue, and I just laid everything down. You could, of course, add foam tape if you wanted more dimension. I find because of the butterfly wings, I get a lot of dimension on this kind of card design, so I didn't want to add any more to it, but you absolutely could. You could prop the sentiment up too if you wanted to. I'm not going to because, again, I want to tuck it behind a wing, and if it was propped up, I would struggle to get it behind the wing, so that's just kind of my thought process there. But there's so many ways you could make these cards and have them be beautiful. So totally up to you as to what you think you would prefer based on the design. And then, of course, with my butterflies, as I said, I'm going to bring in 3 butterflies, and I'm only going to adhere the center once again so I can pop up the wings and have them just add that dimension and look really pretty. You do have to kind of push on the center to get it to adhere because there already is a lot of dimension in that 3D embossed panel. So just be aware of that. I just push on it with my nail for a few seconds until the glue grabs, and then that's usually enough to get it to just start to adhere and be perfectly fine. And then, like I said, I'm just going to tuck the happy birthday underneath that center butterfly's wings. And there are 2 different sizes here, so the birthday sentiment is going to be a little bit of a different area depending on which butterfly you have in the center, because like I said, you know, there's only 2, so I alternated between them as to which one, you know, kind of ended up where in the center. So this one's going to be slightly different placement than the first one just because of the centered butterfly. But yeah, I think these cards turned out beautiful. I'm really, really happy with them. I'd love to hear your thoughts on them, of course. As always, I like to know what you guys think. And I just want to quickly thank my channel members. You guys are phenomenal. I really appreciate you. You make me able to do all this work and offer all these free videos. So I just really, really want to say thank you to you guys. And anybody who ordered from my new shop update that just happened on Saturday. Thank you guys so much too. I really appreciate you guys supporting me. It's just, I don't know, you're making my dreams come true, and it's a little exciting and a little scary and a little intimidating, and it's all the things. I feel all the things, but I just want to say thank you guys so much for your support. I couldn't do this without you, so I really, really appreciate you guys. And of course, I have all the links down below if you want to check anything out. There is a link to my channel membership if you want to check that out. There's a link to my Etsy store with a little bonus code that you can use if you want to. Yeah, so just check out all the links if you're at all interested. And of course, all my social media is down there as well. The Etsy shop, the, Instagram, and my Facebook group. We are running, I don't know why I keep saying we. I am running a challenge this month. It is to create a spring project within March. And we're coming to the end of we're mid-month at this point. But yeah, if you want to put your name in on, you can create a project, and I will be drawing a name at the end of the month and sending out a little goodie to that person. So if you want to come check that that out, make sure you join my Facebook group. You do have to enter in 2 questions. One just asks you, where you heard about my Facebook group, and the other one just asks you not to be rude to anybody in the group, that kind of thing. So by all means, come and hang out with us if that's of interest to you. Oh, and live streaming this week. Apparently, I have a lot of updates. I am live streaming on Thursday at 3 p.m. PST, 6 p.m. EST. If you want to come and hang out with me, I would love to have you. It's usually a really good time. There's a lot of really, really welcoming people in my group. So please come hang out with us. But yeah, that is the card I have for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed it. Leave me a like, leave me a comment, and consider subscribing if you haven't already. I have a goal for this year. It's 25,000, and I'm hoping to hit that by the end of the year. So please join. Thank you guys so much, and I will see you again very soon. Bye-bye for now.